You know what? I like the pain.
All right. Well, I'm going back too.
Could be why I'm in office. I just love the pain.
Hi everybody, I'm not Sean Evans, and this is Hot Ones, the show with hot wings and even hotter questions. I'm here with State Rep Billy Buckbee. Bill, how are you?
You're not Sean Evans?
People know you as the state representative for New Milford and also having the most recognizable beard in the state. Here we are with another election year.
Yeah, it's amazing how quick it comes around for all of us. But yeah, I guess people do know the beard at this point, right?
It suits you. It's very nice.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. It's time for our first wing. You ready?
Let's dive into it, yeah. Cheers.
All right, let's do this. So, Billy, everyone's worked up about their Eversource bill. I mean, even us, we have these lights going all the time. Our bill's kind of crazy. There's this public benefits charge. Now, you're on the Energy Committee. Can you talk about what you're doing to address this problem?
Yeah, it's been the hot topic for everybody this year. You know, as of July, everybody's bills went up. It's a good wing, by the way.
Delicious.
It's tasty. The public benefits charge is a new portion of the bill that actually I submitted the bill to make that fourth section a part of your electric bill. So I'm saying bill and bill with another bill. So there's lots of bills going on.
Sure, lots of bills.
But the public benefits charge really is a number of things that are wrapped in there. You know, they say like you can get free solar panels or, you know, get a new heat pump for your house. There's about 40 different programs that are in there, and you're paying for all of them. They haven't been audited, so that's one of the first things I'd like to do, should I be reelected, to go back in and address and audit those 40 different pieces of that public benefits charge to make sure people are getting what they're bargaining for, and if they're not being used, why are people paying for it? So we want to make sure that that piece of it is really looked at strongly. That sauce is strong. It's about the only rate hike I can appreciate, I can tell you that.
Absolutely.
Okay, that was a bit much. Okay. But seriously, the other part of it there is during COVID, people had to go, we went 4 years in this state where people couldn't afford to pay their energy bill. The governor had declared that people didn't have to pay. So now you're paying for it, I'm paying for it. The governor didn't allocate any funding in the budget for it. So now you're getting taxed on top of your energy bill as opposed to something that should be allocated in the budget by the governor. That's where the concern is. So we want to make sure we can address this properly, get in, do a deep dive. We wanted to do it in special session, but the majority party is holding us to doing this coming January. So that's the plan. As a ranking member on the Energy and Technology Committee, this is first and foremost the number one thing I want to address.
Let's try the twilight zoning, huh?
Pretty good.
Speaking of zoning, people want to know about these giant apartment complexes going up. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Pretty good. Pretty good. So,
Not bad.
a lot of people ask me about that.
Who's going for the double?
A little extra dab on
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
A lot of people ask me about that with their, with all these new apartment complexes going up. The state has been trying for the last 4 or 5 years to take away local zoning control, right?
Okay, yep.
Let's leave this in local zoning because every community is different. Whether you live in New Milford or New Preston, or if you live in Bridgeport or New Haven, it's very different. And let the people hold control of that. That shouldn't be done on the state level. And that's why we're getting these buildings popping up that aren't within state control. I think I might have put too much on this one, but
Right.
go back at it.
Go again. Pro move there. Here, I'll join you. I can't let you be there alone.
It's a hideous thing to watch me eat wings. But the more we can address the zoning issue, get it off the table in Hartford, you won't see as many of these large apartment buildings going up. We need solutions for housing, but taking away local control of zoning is not the way to do it, especially in so many historic communities. We have enough issues here with traffic, right? So you start adding in buildings that aren't really considering the traffic that's going up on these roads. We need to have a better look at that, and that's why our local volunteers who are on these commissions are so critical to doing things the way that they should be done within the state. Keep as much local control as possible and less for the state.
I think we're going to go for our third wing here.
Oh,
Yeah.
third wing.
So you're starting to feel it a little bit, Billy?
It's getting a little spicier. I can see your face getting a little redder.
Yep.
That's good, though. A little heat. That's good for you.
Little bit. You ready for the next dab?
Let's go at it.
All right, let's go. We're in this together now. Woo.
It's a little bite there.
A little bit. Woo. So I wanted to touch on local businesses. You're on the Commerce Commission. You've supported businesses like Kimberly-Clark and Kimberly Farms. You know, people are concerned to see empty buildings when they drive down the road. And what are you doing to address local businesses?
Well, I think one of the, I can feel it as I'm starting to talk to you. I'm getting a little tingle.
Yeah.
I think one of the things to recognize is how the landscape changes for the consumer, too. There's less brick and mortar now. People are buying more online, and we're recognizing that. And if we want to drive more business to us, we need to do things as a government to help those businesses thrive. Before we worry about driving in new business, we need to have those conversations with local business. People are already here. How do we keep those businesses here and thriving so that more can come in and enjoy it? I think that's the next step that we need to have. As a former ranking on Commerce Committee, I've found that working individually, one-on-one, having those conversations with those business owners is critical. What are we doing wrong on the state level that we can fix to help you have a better job and a better business that you're running? How can we do that? I think that's the critical part. We need to step in and talk to the individuals. I don't care if it is a large corporation or a small mom and pop. It's tough enough for brick and mortar as it is. We need to step in and do more for them. And I need to get more of this wing.
That's good, actually. I like that one.
It's a really good sauce.
Yeah.
Might have to do more of that. Can I just put that on a different wing here? I don't know how that works. There's more wings somewhere. I don't know.
All right, you ready for the fourth wing?
It's getting hot, man. This is
All
getting
right.
a little spicy.
It's getting
the
a
next
little
one
hot.
has a different color. This one's getting a little lighter, so I don't know if that scares me a little bit.
Great, we're calling a doctor now. We got Dr. Peppery here
Ooh,
for our
okay.
fourth wing. So let's take a bite. Cheers,
Sounds
my
good.
friend.
Cheers.
All right. So
That one hits you hard.
you gonna be all right? You got the milk just in case?
We're going right back at it.
Oh, go for it. Go for it. So, the topic of abortion is a hot button issue. We just want to know, where do you stand on the issue?
I'm going to tell you, a lot of typical politicians will avoid the question. They try to dodge after that. Nobody wants. It's the taboo question within all of this. And I just feel like the government belongs out of the doctor's office. That's not the place for government to be. I think that's how a very simple platform across the board. It's a little more libertarian of me, but it's a true statement as far as I'm concerned. The government doesn't do things well in a lot of situations. The last thing they need to do is get involved in you and your family's decisions and what you're choosing to do. I fought to keep the option here. It's an individual choice. I think that's up to the individual to decide what they want to do with their own body.
Great. How's that Dr. Peppery hitting you?
Got a little citrusy to it.
Yeah.
I kind of like that. Yeah, that's really good.
You gonna make it, Billy?
Can you see the smoke?
All right.
That one's hot. The milk breaks it up, though, no matter how you do it.
Okay.
It's not about the heat.
I'm still holding out.
Man, that's some hot wings we're going here. This is good.
Good to see you diving in, Billy.
Oh, happy to. There's no question about eating. I'm just always self-conscious about the beard, getting it in the beard.
Of course.
And we have so many great places for wings in town. I can tell you that. That's amazing. There's so many amazing places in town to get wings.
Absolutely.
So I don't think we can say which ones we got these from, but these are some good wings.
All right, Billy, we've reached the last dab. It's customary. We're both going to take a dab here. And I just want to talk a little bit about this. This is the Buckbee Hot Honey because it kicks like a buck and stings like a bee. So I'm going to do a dab with you here.
But is it as sweet as me? That's the question.
Well, we'll have to see. It's to be determined. It depends on how you do with it, all right? So I'm doing it with you right here.
All right, if we're going to do an extra dab, and this is the Buckbee, I can't show any fear of that.
All right.
Let's get a little, oh, there we go. Okay.
All right. Pouring one out for the Buckbee.
Cheers.
All right.
Holy moly. I just got some bite.
So now that you're a seasoned veteran of Hot Ones and a seasoned veteran of the Capitol, tell us what really goes on in Hartford. What can you tell us about that? Hit the milk, hit the milk. I'll do it with you in solidarity, all right?
There's a little sting to it, I guess, is what you'd say.
A little bit, yep.
I can go back to this wing?
Oh, of course. So it must not have been too hot for you. You're going back for more.
You know what? I like the pain.
All right. Well, I'm going back too.
Could be why I'm in office. I just love the pain. Oh, that one bit.
Nice.
I'm gonna need to go blow my nose here too at some point.
Use the tablecloth if you need to.
Do we have a larger thing of milk around here somewhere? Woo, it's got some bite. I gotta tell you, when I first got to Hartford, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what was gonna happen to the people there, what they were really like. And I think the one thing that people need to recognize is, Connecticut does it really different. We don't do it like the federal government. Federal government, where they're always bickering, always arguing. I'd like to say that I've worked a good relationship up with those across the aisle.
Sorry. Hanging in there?
We've had great conversations, and we've been able to have some compromise. And I think that's where the solutions lie, in the compromise. No one side should have everything they think they deserve, right? And I think it's something... Hold on.
I'll take a bite with you
That
too.
helps.
I'll take a bite with you too.
That helps with the thing there. Wow. Wow. But that does help. The focus, which is tough to do now. I'm starting to water.
You're a champ. You're a champ, Billy.
The focus of everything up there is really for compromise for me. If I have a good idea, or a constituent comes to me with a good idea that I want to pitch up in Hartford, I have some great people across the aisle I can talk to, and I think that ability to get along with people, and people just being people. Every time I go to the grocery store, I'll get stopped. If I go in to buy a gallon of milk, I'll be there for a half hour, 45 minutes, because people come up to me and talk to me about some of the topics you brought up today. That's how it's supposed to be. And I think that's kind of how I was raised. My father was in public service, and he taught me a lot of that stuff. And it's been a difficult year. He's normally been my campaign manager. And I'm trying to carry on some of his traditions, too, with me. Being very accessible, just being yourself. And I think a lot of these people that we see running for office are trying to fit a mold. They're trying to fit into federal politics. They're trying to fit into what their party tells them they should be. To me, it's all about just New Milford, and New Milford's really my family, and that's how I see it. At times dysfunctional, at times hotter than other times, but my family, and my father used to say all the time, nothing beats family. So that's kind of how I look at the entire job, that nothing beats family, and we're out here working for each other. I don't want to bump into you in Stop and Shop or in Big Y or any grocery store in town and have you tell me that that you're hurt by something that I put in place. I want to have that conversation so we can prevent those things from happening. And I think being regular people is a critical part of doing this job.
Billy, thank you so much for coming out.
Sean, Andy, thanks for having me.
No problem, yes. And thank you. This has been really fun, really educational. I don't think a lot of people really fully understand how much you do for this town and the complexities of all of these bills. We truly appreciate it, and we thank you again for coming.
Thank you so much for having me, and thanks for the wings. I think this was delicious and fantastic, and I'm always accessible. That's the other part of this. Social media, in person, see me at the park, see me at the store. Don't be afraid to stop and ask me questions, because that's what I'm here for.
Absolutely. Good to know. It's been a pleasure.
And anytime over wings, you let me know.
All right, we will.
I'm Bill Buckbee, and I approve this message. These are hot. But they're good.